Father Larry Richards, my mentor, my friend, and someone that I have instructed for years.
Yeah, it's why I am the way I am.
Father Larry,
Dr. Ray.
I had a friend whose
You
mother...
had one, that's exactly
I had one
correct,
friend.
yeah.
His mother became more frail. She struggled with dementia. The latter several years, he built, by hand, he built for her an apartment, took care of her, fed her, carried her to the bathroom for a couple of years because she was immobile. He, more than almost anybody I know, sacrificed for his mother. He's an atheist. Now, what do you do with the idea? You know, I know a lot of people who don't believe in God, and they're nicer than Christians.
Sure. Part of the reality is everyone is created in the image and likeness of God, right? So we are all created good. So just because the reality is an atheist, he still was created by a good God, whether he believes in him or not. And the good God still is some way in his life and operating his life. That's how he can do anything good. It's because of the grace of God. He hasn't accepted that. But that's where let's deal with that issue for a moment, because they often deal with saying Christians are Christians because they do good things. Well, by definition, that's not true. They do things because of God who lives within them. But a Christian, you can be an atheist and do good things. You can be another religion and do good things and act like a Christian. But a Christian is one who no longer lives, but Jesus Christ lives inside of them. So meaning that a Christian isn't just one. You don't become a Christian by doing good things. You're a Christian, so you do good things. But atheists are good people because they can do good things too. We believe it no matter what. But to go into Christianity, it's a much deeper reality. That people who are good, they can be good, they're not even Christians. But they're good because of the Christian God. Huh? You got it?
Sometimes I'll say to people, if you want an example of what Christianity can do through you, look at Mother Teresa. Okay, you find very few atheists doing what Mother Teresa did for the love of God.
Sure.
So I guess you would compare the two, even though someone who doesn't believe in God is capable
Absolutely.
of good behavior.
Years ago, when the first time I ever met Mother Teresa, I'm a young seminarian at the University of Pittsburgh, and Mother Teresa comes in and she was speaking to the public university, University of Pittsburgh, to the social work group, and she just got this beautiful talk done and everything else. I'll never forget, I'm sitting here, I'm about 5 pews away from her, seats away from her, and she started taking questions, and this one guy raised his hand and he says, "Mother, I have no respect for you because you do what you do for God and there is no God, and I cannot take when you go around doing all these things you do for God." Now, I wanted to jump over the seats.
Well, is this a guy in a seminary?
No.
Okay,
It was just a social work group.
Okay.
So, and I wanted to jump over the sheets and show him God by sending him to God. But that ain't what Mother did. Mother sat there and says, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you because God is so alive and he loves you so much." And I'll never forget, I watched this. This guy melted back into his chair. Why? Because she spoke to him about who she knew. She didn't argue with him, debate with him about the reasons we believe in God. She spoke to him from her own experience. And the atheists, and I've known lots of atheists, some of my kids, who I put most of my time in, they become atheists, and I think, what? And most of the time, the people I met, even my kids that left, they're atheists because they want to do things their way. And if they believe in God, even if their way is a good way, taking care of your mother, but to believe in God is going to cost them something. It's going to cost them their life. I can't just tip in, put a little toe and say, okay, I might believe in God or I might not. To enter into a relationship with God means that you're going to have to die. You're going to have to die to yourself and your wants. So some people say, I would rather believe things or not believe things, because then you don't have to answer to anybody. You can do completely what you want on your own.
I don't know which author it was. Oscar Wilde comes to mind. He became a Catholic.
Yep.
And
he had a life and a half before he became a Catholic.
That's exactly right. A woman said to him, "You call yourself a Christian. You are one of the more obnoxious, difficult people." And he said, "Ma'am, what you say may be true, but you should have seen me before I became a Christian."
There you go. Absolutely.
Does atheism have the power to transform like Christianity does?
Absolutely not. And again, nowhere does the church ever say that anyone who's not a Christian is not a good person. We say the opposite. all people of goodwill. And we invite all people of goodwill into this relationship with the God who loves them. Because again, I think the deepest need in everyone is to be loved. And we do everything to try to get that. And so when we start dealing with God, if we see God as this big monster that, controls or doesn't control,
the puppet master.
Exactly. Then I don't want anything to do with that. Well, neither do I. I want to be in relationship with someone who's going to love me, who's going to transform me, who's going to give me hope. And so our job is to reach out to all these people, Catholics, non-Catholics, atheists, agnostics, whatever, and say, there is a God who loves you. And if you just come a little way, God will come the rest of the way to you.
Well, as a shrink, I've met a lot of atheists, a lot of people who doubt the existence of God. And if they come to God, they will almost always tell you, I'm a much different person now than I was when I thought I was nice and good.
Sure, absolutely.